Well, it is a mission to bring the world to everyone's feet.
A two-time Florida State Geography Bee champion is bringing his love of geography to those in need by writing and publishing his own book and then donating them to local organizations.
Yeah,
Just
this is
wonderful.
cool.
Watch Sonika Dange joins us now in studio to introduce him. Good morning, Sonika.
Hey, good morning, guys. Kalen Patel says he wants to use his book and his nonprofit to help out the community. This week, I'm introducing you to West 2's community champion, the Lending Hand Global Foundation.
The big day is here. We're off to see all 50 states.
16-year-old Kalen Patel is at the Boys and Girls Club in Taft this afternoon,
Our bellies are rumbling like thunder when we get to Vermont.
reading Kobe's World Adventure, a geography book he wrote and plans to donate to the kids here by the end of the day.
So we stop at the Cabot Creamery for my favorite, Ooey Gooey grilled cheese.
It's basically a book about a family, and they're traveling throughout the United States and visiting each and every state. And in each state, the family of 5, it's led by my narrator, Kobe. They are basically visiting different things in each state, and in the book, kids can learn a little bit about each state, and they learn some fun things like where the first chocolate chip cookie was made or where lollipops originated. When we get to Philadelphia, I know exactly what I want to do.
I'll be the first one to say I was hesitant when he first said about writing a book. You know, I was like, you know, what 16-year-old can write a book?
To visit the place where the very first computer was invented.
But when his father and I saw the first manuscript, we were like, oh, okay, this is something creative.
In the hustling, bustling Big Apple of New York City.
The two-time Florida State Geography Bee champion inspired by his own travels and a love of geography.
Dad says we might not quite make it to all of the arches.
I think he also saw at these competitions how there were other students that didn't have the same opportunity to compete. And a lot of schools didn't have the resources for the kids to even participate in these geography competitions. So I think for him it became, and I guess I didn't even realize it, some sort of a means of that I really want to give back, and this is my way of giving back.
Kobe's World Adventure was published under his newly formed 501c3 organization, Lending Hand Global Foundation. Last summer, he donated copies to Hungerford and Lockhart elementary schools.
We visit the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina.
He's also read the book and donated copies to kids at Advent Health. And he's now receiving requests from schools across the country.
He woke up one day and said, you know what? I want to change the world. And not only do I want to make a change in the world, I want to be the change in the world.
What's your favorite color in lollipop? Rainbow?
He's changing the world as we speak right now. He's changing the kids in our club.
At just 16, Kalen says he'll continue the 7-part series through college, where he'll also explore other ways of giving back through his newly formed nonprofit.
The boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey goes on for miles and miles. I really just hope to be able to open up the world to people who don't have the opportunity to have the world, at their feet, who maybe don't get the opportunity to travel or don't get to learn about something like geography in school. I would just want to be able to bring a piece of the world to them.
Yep.
And joining us now in studio is the author himself, Kalen Patel. Kalen, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so first, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're 16 years old. You go to a local high school here. Which one?
I go to Windermere Prep in Windermere, so about 40 minutes from Orlando.
Okay, and what got you so into geography to begin with?
When I was a child, I just really had an interest. From the age of 2, 3 years old, I liked to pick up maps, and we just had some books around when I was younger that were geography books, and ever since then, I just developed the interest for it, and it's followed me then from the age of 2 to now being 16 years old, and I've just always had that passion for it, and will continue to have a passion for it as well.
And I know travel has inspired a lot of the book as well. What is your favorite state in this first book?
I think my favorite state in the country probably has to be Illinois. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
I like the weather there. I love the snow. I love the cold temperature. That's the one negative about Florida.
And
I know a lot of people love how hot it is down here, but for me, I like the state. Being from there and snow and things like that. That's got to be up there. Colorado, it's got to be another one. I love skiing.
Okay.
I love going skiing in Colorado. So I would say if I had to pick one or two states, those are my top ones.
And you've got fun facts for both of those states.
Yeah, of course.
Which ones are those?
So for Illinois, I remember that we have that the city of Aurora is known as the City of Lights because it's the first city in the United States that used street lights to light the streets in the state. So yeah, I remember that one from Illinois off the top of my head.
Awesome. Glad we got to quiz you a little bit. But now let's talk about the actual foundation itself. Where do you see the future of it, and what do you want to do in the community with it?
Well, so the first project of the foundation is obviously book one, Kobe's World Adventure, but there's a reason that it's book one. I want for the book series to cover the entire world and go through all the different continents to have an entire complete series of a geography book series for kids. So I hope that that is one project for the foundation in the future over the course of the next 5 or 6 years. And then I also hope to have other community-based projects within the organization, food drives, other donation drives for the underprivileged and people who need our help and need to be uplifted. And so, I hope to have multiple different things in the organization over the next 5, 6 years, but the book series will probably be the biggest project to have that completed and be a part of the organization and give it to as many people who need the access to it as possible.
You have an incredible drive to help the community at such a young age. Where is that passion coming from?
It comes from my parents the most, for sure. Both my parents have always been very involved within the community, donating, and they've instilled in me the privilege that I've had, and they instilled that I need to be able to give back because of that. And just seeing them, what they do, it's inspired me to, start the foundation, start the project of the book, and just build up on that in the future, and just take the foundation to the next level and help the community out in whatever way it needs.
Now, people can actually go and buy the book, and all the proceeds go right back to the foundation. And then you guys are also donating a bunch of books. What kind of reaction have you seen from the kids?
Oh, it's been amazing. Going to different places, different organizations. Like I was at Boys and Girls Club earlier this week. I spent the summer reading at Hungerford Elementary to some of the rising 4th grade students, and these kids were just so excited and so elated to have the book. I could tell that they were truly interested in what they were reading, and it was kind of a fun experience for them, for me to be there reading to them, and them reading the book. They had so much fun, and I could tell that the book was definitely of interest to them and that they really enjoyed what was happening for them. So that to me showed that what I was doing was truly making an impact, and that was a very fulfilling moment. Those have been fulfilling moments for me.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can only imagine the impact it's making on you, seeing the difference that you're making in these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's having those moments of reading, being able to read to them and getting those moments of fulfillment. It shows that what I'm doing is truly making an impact, and it's right, and that I need to continue on and really open up the access to kids throughout Central Florida and hopefully throughout the state eventually, getting access to this book and just them developing a passion for whatever it might be through this book, whether it's geography or just reading. That's good enough for me. I just want kids to get something away from this book.
All right. And for anybody watching at home who wants to help, who wants to participate, where can they find more information?
So you can find more information about my foundation and the book at lendinghandglobalfoundation.com. You can purchase the book there. It's about $10 online. And you can also donate or become a sponsor of the book. So every $10 donated ensures that one student in need in Central Florida will have the ability to have access to the book, and I will be able to donate books. So a $100 donation will ensure that 10 books can be donated to either a local organization or directly to an elementary school in Central Florida. So if you'd like to donate, you can go check out there. And in your mind, always remember that there's no better gift than the gift of knowledge. So if you're considering donating in any way to any organization, I would consider donating to mine. If you want to be able to give the gift of knowledge.
That is awesome. Kaylin, thank you so much. You're doing an incredible job. We're all blown away by you in the studio here. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Jason Mayer, back to you.
It's so inspiring.
Oh, great stuff, Kaylin. You're awesome, bud.
Yeah, and if you know somebody with a history of doing good in Central Florida, we want to know about them. Email us details of your nominee to communitychampion@wesh.com. They can be featured right here on Thursdays on WESH 2 News.